Hello and welcome to Partisan video podcast week 4. This week I'm interviewing two people with respect to the ongoing issues surrounding Birmingham International Holdings and receivership. They are Steve Briscoe, MD of Briscoe Wonferrier, a highly respected Hong Kong insolvency practitioner and author of www.hkinsolvency.com, and Will Giles, co-author of Haircuts and Leakups, and solicitor of 24 years standing in Hong Kong, mainly dealing with commercial litigation, insolvency, liquidation, and listing company procedures. If I can go to Will first, there's been a lot of talk here about how the club is going to be sold quickly because of the powers the receivers have. Can you see this happening? Does Carson get any say in this?
We don't think there's going to be a quick takeover for several reasons. One of the obvious ones is that this is a solvent situation. It's not an insolvent liquidation situation. BIHL is solvent. Birmingham City is solvent. The reason for the appointment of the receivers was the alleged schism between the 5 directors who applied to court for the appointment of the receivers and the 4 directors allegedly connected with Carson. We don't know anything about what evidence they produced to the court, but it's not a situation where they are preserving assets for creditors to pay off the creditors by way of an insolvency situation. So in a solvent situation, the shareholders have a dominant position, and Carson being the major shareholder with his brother-in-law, who I believe holds a significant chunk of shares as well, they would have to be consulted on any sale of the club. So I can't see any way around that. And Carson's shares are obviously part of his assets, which I believe some of the shares, if not all of them, are frozen under the restraint order connected with with the criminal charges. But any prospect of confiscation of those shares would not happen until the end of the appeal process, which could be another 18 months. So until that time, unless there's a court order intervening, he controls those shares and would have to be consulted on any sale.
Is there any way that anyone else, such as the Hong Kong Stock Exchange or the SFC, can get involved to stop and vote in these shares?
Question, highly speculative. I'm not aware of any situation like that, not occurring in Hong Kong, not in recent years anyway. Are you aware of anything like that, Steve?
No, I think it's most unlikely. Those shares are his. He has the right to vote them, and it's difficult to see circumstances in which he will be prevented from so doing.
So you can't see the SFC getting involved at all?
I think it's unlikely.
Yeah, I can't see that at all. I mean, the SFC have got involved recently in a couple of fraudulent listings, in which they've, delisted stock and then had to deal with those shareholders. But this is a wholly different situation. There's absolutely no chance of them interfering with Carson's shareholder rights pending the legal process that's going on now.
So Ernst & Young can't do it without getting Carson's approval, and they can't stop him from voting his shares either. Seems to me like they can't do much at all.
Yeah, and as you know, with our discussions, I've been very wary about their involvement, and they're not like a magic bullet, Ernst & Young. I've seen some of your correspondence on OP saying, "Oh, you can't mess with these receivers. They're very difficult to remove once they're in place." Yeah, that's true, but their powers are limited. They're limited by the law, and general company law is that the shareholder can vote his shares, and that will happen.
Steve, if I can come to you, people on OP are struggling, I think, to understand how this whole receivership thing works. When receivership happens here in England, it's normally a path to a company selling its assets really quickly and administration and insolvency. But this seems completely different. I wondered if you could give us the benefit of your expertise on this.
I think the important thing to understand here is that firstly, it's a court-appointed receiver. The receiver you're talking about, your correspondents are talking about, is probably someone who's appointed by one of the creditors. In this case, it's been appointed by the court, and their role is, and I'm speaking without having seen the order or the application, obviously, but their role has probably been to bring some form of order to the boardroom, given all the conflicts that have been going on. And at the moment, that they'll be talking to the stock exchange. I'm sure that they would like to think about trying to do a deal to sell the club, because that's the key asset of BIH. But as Will says, the probability is that the shareholders, i.e. Carson and others, are going to have a say in that. And it seems to me at the moment that Carson, rightly or wrongly, is putting his foot down and doesn't want to divest himself of his shares in the company.
So in that case, then, surely the thing to do is make a deal with Carson.
I think that's going to be a bit like trying to plait fog.
That doesn't sound positive at all.
And echo what Will said earlier. I think the danger is, and this is the danger from the perspective of the football club. The danger is this could drag on for a long time. The legal process goes at a particular pace, and unless there are really pressing reasons why something should happen quicker, then the legal process will go at its own pace. And as I said, my view is that the substantive hearing of the summons that Carson's issued now is probably not going to get on until September, October, November.
So in effect, what you're saying, we're looking at 6 months before the summons will be heard in court. That's a long time. Obviously, the appeal hearing's been heard soon as has been heard as well. What effect will that have?
Let's do another one of these when the appeal result comes out. And as I said all along, the appeal result crucial to everything. And even then, it might not be the end of the matter.
Thanks for your insights, guys.
Okay.
All right, Daniel. Good to speak to you. Cheers.
Cheers.
That was Steve Briscoe, MD of Briscoe Wongferrier, leading Hong insolvency practitioners, and Will Giles, who's co-author of the book Haircuts and League Cups, with me. Special announcements for 2 weeks from the end of this video. You can buy a copy of the book online on the Haircuts and League Cups website, which is in the description below, for the rock bottom price of just £10 plus P&P. But that is a limited time offer only, so if you want to get a copy, now's the time to do so. That's half the price it is on Amazon. As always, if you've got any questions, or you'd like to tell me that I need to have a shave or whatever, email me almagia@oftenpartisan.co.uk. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's often_partisan. You can follow the book's feed as well, Haircuts LCS. You can follow me on Facebook as well, facebook.com/oftenpartisan. I'm going to do another one of these probably next week. Probably going to talk about the appeal, but until then, keep right on.